What's up, everybody? It's Black Nerd Playing. It's your boy
What up?
Jordan.
It's your boy M.
Last of Us 2. I was about to mix up last play, state of play, newest
Get it
trailer.
cracking already.
Oh man,
Beep.
I wonder whose idea. You always wonder like whose idea it'd be to like do these little graphics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something you would have damn near thought they'd have thought of years ago.
Yeah. But I guess everyone had their little beep. It just was a lot longer of a, it used to be like a thing.
I know you wish things were different.
Even like, think about like GameCube. That was a whole beatbox session.
Man, they love showing some mountains on Sony, don't they?
Things were different.
Love a little
Wow.
mountain rain.
Ellie!
Oh.
But they ain't.
Please stop.
Stop. Man.
I'm leaving tomorrow.
I'm out of here, man.
A nice foliage.
Smart.
Texture.
Mhm.
Leaving
Gets me.
Jackson
So they just get to get away with this?
How'd you find us?
Yep.
Kind of looking too real.
Stop this.
I want what you want,
Jeez Louise, arrows and they.
but not at any
When she had a tattoo.
Yeah, I know, real.
Some artists, post-apocalyptic. It's my last tat.
$50.
I really hope you
6 cans of beans. It was him. He's a tattoo artist.
2 bullets, please.
Yeah.
I have to finish it.
See, and that's what makes this so much like crazy.
There's a cost.
The human interactions.
Mm-hmm. Blood,
We
guts.
could have killed you. Maybe you should have.
What do you call that sound with like the intensities reeling in?
I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about.
Naughty
The
Dog and the director of The Last of Us Part 2. We're just a few weeks away from launch on June 19th, when the game will finally be in your hands. The wait has been long, and we're extremely grateful for your patience, especially now in the midst of these unprecedented and challenging times. We hope you're all taking care of yourselves and that you, your friends, and your loved ones are doing well. Because of these extraordinary circumstances, we can't be together in this final stretch and share the experience like we usually would. So today we're trying something different. Something we've never done before.
Like what?
Over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to give you an in-depth look into what awaits you in The Last of Us Part 2,
Oh man, I know it's gonna be a 20.
including new details about the
I
gameplay
need it.
experience and story. And to cap it all off, we'll be showing a never-before-seen, lengthy gameplay sequence. You'll definitely want to stick around for that.
nice. Okay.
I'm here.
I don't know what happened.
You know what happened,
I
Joe.
was supposed to take her to the Fireflies and walk away.
You lied.
They were actually going to make a cure. The only catch, it would kill her.
Spoilers, man.
The Last of Us Part 2 picks up Ellie and Joel's
I
story
couldn't imagine
several years
somebody
after the
trying to
events
do
of the
this
first
before
game.
the first one, though.
Yeah.
Ellie and Joel have settled in Jackson, Wyoming, amongst a thriving community of survivors.
It's very
With the threats of
specific.
the world kept outside the town's walls, Jackson has been able to find relative peace and even stability. Ellie is now 19, lives on her own, and has been able to forge lasting relationships within the community.
Scale of 1 to
They
10.
said it was 4 years.
How would you
Yeah, I think so.
rate our kiss from last night?
I forgot how old she was originally.
Mm-hmm.
However, this peace is short-lived.
Of course.
Jackson and Ellie suffer a violent and traumatizing event. Ellie sets off back into the treacherous outside world in search of retribution and justice. Her journey will take her to new parts of the country previously unexplored in The Last of Us. The story spans multiple seasons and climates, from the snow-capped mountains of Jackson to the lush Pacific Northwest. Each introduces
that
a
will
wide
be
range
pretty
of exterior and interior environments
generic
to
almost.
navigate and explore, rendered in meticulous detail and unprecedented scale with the latest iteration of the Naughty Dog engine. Our goal was to make these environments not only beautiful, but feel as grounded and authentic to the cities they're based on as possible.
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Much of the story unfolds in what remains of Seattle, a massive former quarantine zone. Its locales are incredibly diverse, spanning a dense city center with a skyline of towering high-rises to the beautiful suburbs and stormy waterfronts that surround it. The city exhibits drastic shifts in architecture, elevation, and weather. And with Part 2, we've introduced new traversal mechanics that afford greater exploration and ways to navigate threats. Ellie is not only able to climb and jump over gaps, but she can use ropes to scale vertical terrain or swing over obstacles, allowing you to discover new areas, resources, and side narratives. These more open environments also create new strategic considerations in combat, whether it's to get the jump on enemies or bypass them entirely. The Last of Us Part 2 features some of the largest environments we've ever created. Horseback riding will allow Ellie to quickly cover some of these expansive terrains. Some streets are so flooded that a boat is required to navigate them. However, the world of The Last of Us is as lush and inviting as it is deadly.
Yeah.
As Ellie uncovers the path to finding those who have wronged her, she must face the many threats of this unknown city. In the wake of the pandemic and the fall of the quarantine zone, Seattle has become a war zone, where two warring factions find themselves in an ongoing conflict for territory and resources. One of these groups is the Washington Liberation Front, otherwise known as the WLF. The WLF are a militia group that began as resistance to the military occupation of Seattle, and eventually wrestled control of the city from them. They are highly trained, organized, and well-equipped with weapons they stole from the army. They occupy much of the city, imprisoning or killing trespassers on sight.
Hey, we got another
Yeah, me either. Oh, man.
Did you see her?
Something like that. I don't even remember, man. It's been a long time since I
On the other
played
side
the
of this
first
bloody
one.
conflict is a group of religious zealots called the Seraphites, or Scars, defined by the self-inflicted deep cuts that they bear across their faces.
Love gang
WLF are
activity.
deeply tribalistic and territorial. They're known for being stealthy, using overgrowth as cover, and they use more silent weapons like bows and arrows.
Clip her wings.
But beyond this conflict among survivors, the threat that originally brought the world to its knees is very much present. Every human is in danger of falling victim to the infected.
Dang.
They are the recently infected runners, who are more numerous and aggressive in this game. The blind but extremely deadly clickers, and the stalkers, who sneak and hide until they're ready to attack, surprising their victims with extreme agility and brutal violence. The Last of Us Part 2 introduces new stages of infected, such as the Shamblers. Large, heavily armored enemies that are covered in pustule. Upon getting close to you, they expel a corrosive spore cloud that burns its victims. But our most terrifying and lethal new forms of infected
That's crazy.
have to wait until you play the game for yourselves.
Mission already, boy.
Overcoming will require careful consideration of how you approach every combat encounter and how you leverage Ellie's unique skills, equipment, and the environment to your advantage. The WLF patrol the streets of Seattle with guard dogs, which are capable of detecting and following you, even while in cover. They can pick up your scent and alert their handlers to your presence. Listen mode will reveal your scent trail, so keep moving and cause distractions to avoid detection. 25
Man,
years
that's
after the
tight.
pandemic began, the world is completely overgrown.
Part of me almost
Use
felt
tall
like
grass
they
to hide from
really
enemies and
used
go
that
prone
in
to stay out of sight.
Mm.
However, this form of analog stealth means you're
Yeah, they
never
probably
fully
pretty
hidden.
proud of that though,
If enemies
since
get
we,
close
you know,
enough,
they
can
said that
discover
that's
you,
their own.
even in grass. When Ellie is overwhelmed, running away is a viable option. You can also break glass or crawl through tight spaces to find new paths or areas to evade or take on your enemies. In any given combat situation, you can flee an encounter and re-establish stealth to regain the advantage. If you absolutely have to fight your way out, there are a variety of tools at your disposal. Ellie's more agile than most of her enemies. She can sprint and quickly dodge incoming attacks. Learning how opponents attack with different weapons and mastering the timing of your dodges will prevent you from taking damage and create opportunities to counterattack. You can use throwable items or well-placed shots to stun enemies before dealing a killing blow. Or using them as a shield to protect yourself or buy some time to figure out your next move.
Sheaf.
Ellie isn't always alone on her journey.
Yeah.
Allies will take part in helping you navigate the environments, spot enemies, and meaningfully help you in combat encounters.
Back off!
That's not a traitor. Oh,
Yeah, he a spy.
Between the human survivors and the
Gas
roaming
mask?
infected, there will be times where multiple threats are present, creating new strategic considerations and opportunities. You can choose whether to attack these opponents separately and directly, or find ways to pit them against each other. Flee as they fight, or wait until their numbers have thinned out and engage with whomever's left.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of instances, I feel like, where you was around other humans and clickers and stuff.
Our goal is to create unparalleled attention, coupled with deep systems that give you greater control and influence over your journey. As you play, you'll be able to invest in a broad collection of crafting items, weapon, and player upgrades through training manuals scattered throughout the environment and scavenging for ingredients. These skills and upgrade manuals cater to a variety of playstyles, and the choices you make will create your own distinct experience.
It's gonna haunt you, real life
We
and
want to
the game.
extend that agency and personalization to your weapons through our new workbench system. Scavenge for parts to modify and improve your weapon's performance and attributes, all of which are visualized and become part of your character.
That's tight.
actually putting it together, like seeing yourself put it together, it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Survival will also require using the parts and ingredients that you'll find in the environment, which can be crafted into a wide range of defensive and offensive items, like proximity mines, explosive arrows, pistol suppressors, and more.
Bullets. My wallet. Oh!
All of these gameplay systems are meant to immerse you in the world and make you feel in lockstep with Ellie's emotional journey. As we've said before, this is Naughty Dog's largest, most ambitious game. It may seem like we covered a lot, but we've only scratched the surface of what it's like to play The Last of Us Part 2. We can't wait for you to experience it all for yourself on June 19th. Until then, here's an extended sequence of never-before-seen gameplay. Enjoy.
Sport.
Enjoy.
Look at the water and the corn dogs. What are those called?
Oh no.
Corn dogs to me. Yeah, like I was expecting this game to be bigger, but I'm surprised at the level they went.
Search in the area, just in case she's still around.
Isaac's not happy.
Gotta make a statement. It's been a long time.
Sheesh.
Escape. What the fuck are they talking about?
Night.
They're smoking a cig. Like, I don't even know why I'm doing this shit.
Shit, man, what can I gotta think of something, man. This ain't it, boy.
Don't make a fucking sound. Hands up.
Oh, she got the Vita.
You know a girl named
Haha.
Where is she?
No, get out of here, Cortana.
They're clearing out the upper floors. She's somewhere in there.
Wow.
Damn. Jeez. Fuck. Jeez, man.
That was dumb.
Just trying to play the Vita, man.
Swear.
Boat's away. Word is we're almost wrapped up.
Good. I got my girl waiting for him for Bob.
You shit me? They put you with Joe again?
Upstairs.
Hey, we get the job done.
I bet you do.
Oh,
Oh,
this
this
the
is not
stress,
fair.
man.
Data soldier. It makes these shifts so much easier.
Sure. I'll keep that in mind.
Fuck. Sounds like scars are getting closer.
Hope that's
Nah,
our
if I
guys
hear somebody
executing
be like,
those freaks.
you hear that backpack zip? Damn, son.
Bob.
Isaac wants us to retake all of downtown.
I heard we might take the fight to them.
Oh, no way. Not after what went down last time. Even Isaac isn't that crazy.
It's what I heard.
I love these little times where you following a little, you know, couple of people and they talking about whatever is going on. Like getting information. They be like, yeah, man, cause I heard dude don't be playing, man.
Little Petey, man, he had a peanut butter sandwich. On his plate right
Sticky tape from that way.
there. Made a grilled cheese, bro.
Said, man, I love grilled cheese, man. Bro wouldn't even tell me where he got the cheese from neither, man.
Fan out. Check the whole coast up.
If I had it my way. That'd be the best parts, honestly. Wow, oh,
Dog yelps.
man. They definitely amped up the horror. I mean, you know what I mean? Not necessarily horror, but
Yeah.
thrill. Whatever you want to call it, describe it as.
Can you back up from your mic just a tad? The levels was going on in the red.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch somebody play like me that be scared and shit. Be waiting 10 minutes to kill somebody.
Sick. Okay. I'm going in.
This
Saw
dude
movement.
got the aim.
I'll go check it out. I got you covered. Holy shit!
Rick.
You've been playing this level for 8 months. I love that little kidney shift, man. That one just give me every time. She put some nails in it, or did she find it like that? Nah, she must have crafted that.
Yeah, I think she might have.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it! Find another way off!
Bleeding out game. I wonder how many days this takes place over, like months.
Oh, you mean like in in-game time?
Yeah. The first one was over like what, damn near a year or something. Like
Mm-hmm.
they went into winter and all that.
That you, Nora?
Listen to my mixtape, dog. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't even realize that there was a first.
Maybe if you posted more guards, Abby would still be herself.
They really got
here.
that license. That's crazy.
You're gonna tell us where she went.
When Isaac talks to us about this,
I'm getting tired of this.
Nora. Nora! I'm not going down for her, man.
But if it was a loophole, then they didn't have to pay because they only played 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, probably. Them little laws will get you. You know your knees be hurting from all these falls and shit. Oh, you ain't gonna pick up the tape, okay.
Say, we don't need tape where we're going.
Put that shit down.
Is that Ashanti? Oh.
Kind of look like girl from
remember
All
me?
American. Oh, Chelsea.
Yeah. You remember me.
Hey. Remember what happened to the last security guards?
6/19/20. Capture
Literally
photos.
like 3 months. I mean, 3 weeks.
Yeah, I was about to say 3 months. No.
Yeah.
Nice.
That mother is looking cool, man. Damn. Makes me want to play that shit.
Yeah, man. That definitely was on the same level as can't think of what the game called, Ghost, where it made me a lot more excited than I was before. Even though I've been excited. What you thinking, man? That I know you like the shivvies. I know you like the talking. Can you still hear me? Ah.
Yeah, I can. Nah, it was just
that was that Sports Center delay.
right. Nah, the video started playing again, and I was like, "What?" But yeah, man, I don't know, man. You know, I like that stealth stuff, and I also am looking forward to all the gang violence, the Scars versus what was the other? The Wolves versus
Scars,
civilians.
WLF and shit. It's like 40 gangs in that mug.
Yeah, they all throwing up their sets and stuff, so that's cool. I'm looking forward to that.
Damn, I think like I was kind of saying earlier where I felt like it was gonna be open I saw, or we saw it was gonna be more open over the last year or whatever. But I'm surprised at how open it is, and if they're really saying like, they just kind of said side. I don't remember the word they used, side something, but I don't think they were necessarily saying like side quests, which you know what I'm saying. Like I wonder
Side
how
narratives.
side narratives. That's what they said. Okay. So I don't know exactly how deep that goes, and you know what I'm saying, like how many people you gonna meet that may not matter to the main story, or how much they may or may not help your stats and everything like that.
Right.
But shit, man, like like what they just showed, that was like, I feel like that was out of context. Like I don't recall that woman from before, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, the one at the end. Talking about, you remember me? It was me. Yeah, I don't remember her either.
That's like, cause yeah, that's not, I don't think that. I think that's a new character. I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was Ashanti, but maybe it was like some kind of situation where she had broke into there earlier in the day or something, came across them out in the woods or something.
Yeah.
And then was like, oh, okay, this where y'all staying at? All right, bet. I'm pulling up.
What do you think about that that customization, man? You want it to be, it looks like it's in depth enough, but not like ridiculously, like, you know what I'm saying? It looks like it's gonna be just enough.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good to me. I like that the amount of it, like where it's like, you know, you can craft up well, especially because you can see what you about to do, you know, as you're putting it together. Like when they showed that part, that was cool too.
It's funny because obviously it's a video game. When you think about like when they're showing you grabbing the magazines, and then you know, doing the customization and things like that, you know what I'm saying, that remind you that it is a video game. Because in some ways you could almost be like, what if they just went like, how, I don't know how else you would do it, but it's like, how would you kind of do it in where it's like you don't even see that stuff, you know what I mean, like where it's just, you're really just going through like this progression. But I mean, obviously it has to be that way. It's just, it's funny when you kind of have to remember like the levels that it's really on. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm trying to think what else I saw in there, because like, yeah, customization and interaction between the enemies we were talking about, with the more clicker and our enemies going against each other, which I think is good, because like you were saying, it wasn't really too much of that in the first one. It was like, this section's gonna be clickers, this section's gonna be real people, so
real spread out. I mean, because at that time too, it was all new, you know what I'm saying, so everybody was split up. Most people was dead for the most part or whatever.
Yeah, and
now it's like rebuilding and stuff, and it's people that, like, you know, like you said, it's like 40 different gangs, so it's got to be a decent amount of people in the world now to have that many gangs running around.
Yeah, because I'm wondering how, when you go into those situations, I mean, I would think it's just best for you to always try to get them to fight each other first, because you always gonna be limited on your supplies. And I would think I'm just gonna call them zombies, because the generally infected or whatever, I would think they're always gonna be harder to manage than the people.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I mean, I guess it just, my bad.
No, I was just gonna say, I'm sure there's gonna be, you know, harder ones later game, like wearing armor and shit, probably. But
yeah, for sure, and different kind of guns and stuff, like you know, because like they said, especially because each little group of people got different tactics, so that kind of, I feel like that'll change up the difficulty of each. I mean, you know, situation as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was something early in the video they talked about. I should have wrote that shit down, but they're talking about like, it made me think of Monster Hunter, like, you know, this person's gonna fight like this, you know, if they got a machete or something, or they got a gun. So I'm wondering like how many variations of that is there gonna be.
I was thinking about that too,
because I wouldn't think you'd have more than like 7, you know what I'm saying, like, because that would be kind of weird, like some dudes randomly out there doing fucking taekwondo and shit, like, you know what I mean, like, what's going on?
Hell yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. They'd be like, oh yeah, you got to do something about this.
Like, we forgot to tell you about. Like,
and that was one of the little mystery things. He was like, the rest of them, you're going to have to play it and find out. That was what they meant.
Yeah, freaking Machiao from Karate Kid come out and shit. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. They have another tier of infected that just automatically learn karate. They,
street thug zombies. Good grief. Shoot, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I'm excited for it. I'm definitely. This is one of those things where I'm excited, but I kept expressing I'm definitely gonna be stressed out. Though, like the whole time. And you're talking about this being bigger than the first one. That game was already like what, over 10 hours.
Yeah, that one was long.
So I'm thinking this one, because I remember I hadn't played Uncharted 4, but I know people said that was like a 20-hour game or something. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this might be in that same vein.
Yeah, definitely, especially with how much expansive it is now. You know, they made a point to be like, yeah, you could move around faster on this horse, so you still got to look at all the cool stuff.
Like, let me swing our video game developing dicks. This is how good we are.
Yeah, exactly.
We're so awesome. Yeah. I just hope it's not like, I hope there's not a lot of slow parts or like filler time. Because that kind of what happened with Final Fantasy a little bit, where there was like definitely like okay, we're just adding some stuff in here to fill some time.
Yeah.
So, please don't do that. Yeah, you got any other thoughts, man? I don't think I have anymore. It's kind of self-explanatory, man. Cause
see what mug looking crazy. Them graphics looking wild, boy. Still
see what the articles are saying from different outlets. The people that know more than us.
I have seen some people saying they about to drop some reviews and stuff or whatever. End of the week or whatever.
But yeah, man, I think that's good. Thanks for watching, everybody. I say like, comment, subscribe, Black Nerd Planet, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good stuff.
Peace.